Hello and welcome to the Awesome Updates video review of one of this year's most anticipated games, Titanfall. Developed by Respawn Entertainment, who were founded by two former developers of the Call of Duty franchise at Infinity Ward, and published by EA, Titanfall is a Microsoft exclusive title, and as such is only on Xbox One, Xbox 360 and PC. During my review, you'll see some of my footage from the Xbox One version. So I guess the first point I should make is that Titanfall is a multiplayer only title, including the game's campaign mode, which sees you take part in an ongoing war between the militia and the IMC, with each team having its own separate campaign. So who are the militia and the IMC? Well, the IMC are a corporate conglomerate who specialise in resource extraction, and have travelled to the resource-rich frontier, where the game is set, for business. Opposing the IMC are the militia, a group of civilian military forces who are fighting to halt the IMC's use of the frontier colony's resources. So the campaign is structured into 9 separate missions in varying locations and uses the game's different multiplayer objectives as a way to progress each side's story. When you enter the matchmaking in campaign mode, you are greeted by a voiceover from one of the side's high-ranking officers detailing your objectives for the upcoming level. The matches you play in the campaign mode will begin with familiar single-player elements, such as story characters being present to enter battle with you, rather than just being dropped into a normal multiplayer skirmish, which can be found in the game's classic mode. So that's enough of that. Now let's talk about Titanfall's familiar yet effective character creation system. The way you create and customise your pilot in-game is very similar to that found in Call of Duty, which is unsurprising, what with the game being created by former Infinity Ward developers. However, this is by no means a bad thing, as this part of Call of Duty is tried and true, and allows you to create a character based around your style of play, from quick, agile run-and-gun characters to a heavy-hitting tank. The game introduces many futuristic abilities and weapons that make Titanfall refreshingly original compared to the somewhat stale Call of Duty franchise. An honourable mention has to go out to the smart pistol that auto-targets enemies using a lock-on system. AI grunts are quickly targeted and killed, whilst players require 3 lock-ons to successfully kill them. It's a nice way for inexperienced players to enjoy the delights that this game has to offer, but is by no means an overpowered tool of destruction. Pilots can also equip tactical abilities like cloaks, allowing them increased evasion from oncoming titans, as well as kits that can enhance your parkour skills or regen your shield faster. I should probably move on now to the main draw of the game, and the thing that everyone is talking about: Titans. Titans are giant fighting mechs that you can control as seamlessly as you can control your pilot. Like pilots, Titans can be customised based on your style of play, and the first way you do so is by changing their chassis. You can be a tank, which is fairly self-explanatory, an Atlas, which is primary damage dealer, or a Strider, which is lighter, faster Titan, for those who favour evasion and guile over brute force. You can also change the weapons and abilities of your Titan to further specialise them. The Titans are a major focus point of the gameplay, and thankfully are incredibly well done and insanely fun to play. There's just something sweet about punching a giant robot and pulling its pilot out and throwing him to his death. Further, let's talk about the gameplay. Although it's very COD-esque in appearance, it manages to make itself very fresh and unique at the same time. The wall running and parkour elements are the key to this, as they make traversing the map fast-paced and extremely enjoyable, whilst also making combat challenging and rewarding. The matches you play in both campaign and classic mode are 6 versus 6, with varying objectives from familiar domination-style matches to games like Attrition, which is simply an all-out war between players and AI grunts for both sides. May the best Titans win. The game objectives are very similar to any FPS on the market right now, but with the giant mechs thrown into the mix, they are so much more enjoyable. I'm personally a massive fan of online multiplayer, but I also like to unwind offline for a while and see what else a game has to offer, which is sadly one of the only downsides to Titanfall. With only multiplayer gameplay and nothing else to offer, the game may become very repetitive very quickly. And for people who don't enjoy online multiplayer, I guess Titanfall isn't the game for you. Here's hoping for a zombie mode with added Titans. Titanfall is an exceptional title that has breathed fresh life into FPSs and is a very valid reason to own an Xbox One. So without further ado, I would say that Titanfall is most definitely awesome and give it a score of 8 out of 10, with the only thing holding it back from top marks being the lack of any other game modes other than multiplayer. This has been Deedsy for the Awesome Update, and let us know what you thought of this video in the comments below, on Facebook and on Twitter. So until next time, Over and out.
Awesome. Awesome.